the United States, we hear how the Soviet Union is changing. Perestroika and glasnost are familiar words, but they're just words until you see the faces of the Soviet people and witness their excitement as they look forward to the future. Popular Soviet poet Yevtushenko writes of the changes in a work called Fears. Fears are dying out in Russia, like the ghosts of bygone years. And like old women here and there, they still beg for alms on the streets of a church. But I remember them in their strength and power at the court of the triumphing falsehood. Like shadow, fears crept in everywhere and penetrated to every floor. Gradually, they made people subservient and set their seal upon all things. They taught us to shout when we should have kept silent and to shut our mouths when we had needed to shout. Today, all this has become remote. It's strange even to recall nowadays the secret fear of being denounced, the secret fear of a knock at the door. And what of the fear of speaking to a foreigner? A foreigner's one thing, but what of speaking to one's wife? And what about the boundless fear of remaining alone with the silence after the brass bands have stopped? We were not afraid of building in the blizzard or of going into battle while shells exploded. But at times, we were morally afraid of even talking to ourselves. Traveling in the Soviet Union now, in the midst of all these changes, is exciting. A group of citizen diplomats from Gainesville, Florida, were the guests of the city of Novorosisisk in the late summer of 1988. Their mission was to have mayors from both cities solidify a sister city agreement. Since 1982, Steve and Natasha Kalishman have been leading exchange groups to share experiences with the 250,000 residents of the Black Sea port town. This visit would ensure that the Sister City Agreement would be officially recognized by both governments. This non-political, people-to-people program will further understanding, tolerance, and respect for diversity through the exchange of people and ideas. The Gainesville delegation consisted of Steve and Natasha Kalishman, Gainesville Mayor David Coffey, University of Florida student journalist Natalie Nichols, and Gainesville Regional Utilities video producer Amy Lockman. We were honored guests at events that a few years ago we wouldn't even have been welcome to attend.
To participate in such an important occasion in your life. The people of Gainesville
Жители города Гейнсвилла
are celebrating this day with you.
Отмечают этот день вместе с вами.
I have proclaimed this day
Я провозгласил этот день в городе Гейнсвилле
Novorosisisk Sister City Day in the city of Gainesville.
Днем города-побратима, города Новороссийска, в городе Гейнсвилле.
The citizens of Novorosisisk are proud of their heritage and were celebrating the 150th anniversary of their city.
Каждый, кто был в нашем городе светлом, тот полюбил навсегда свежесть морского соленого ветра, светлую радость труда. Всюду ты с нами, мой город любимый, Новороссийск наш морской. Где бы ни шли мы и где бы ни плыли, сердцем мы всюду с тобой. Где бы ни шли мы и где бы ни плыли, сердцем мы всюду с тобой.
Also being observed was the 45th anniversary of the hero city's liberation from the Nazis. These people have seen the devastation of war and are adamant about their wish to be at peace with the United States. Everyone we met, from the decorated war veteran to the young pioneer, they all expressed their desire to share this planet in peace. The Soviet people are very fond of symbolism, and the delegation was invited to plant a sycamore tree as a gesture of our growing peace between nations. Mayor David Coffey supplied some Gainesville soil to help the young tree flourish. We were were encouraged to see as much of the port city as possible. Our proud hosts shared the sights of their city, including the Cement Museum, a hospital, boxing and gymnastics school, and the first Soviet Pepsi plant. Although established by the American firm, the company is now operated by the state. A thaw in the area of religious freedom was evident as we were welcomed to a Russian Orthodox church. The priest was especially friendly, explaining the long history of religion in the Soviet Union despite repression. Another example of glasnost was a Russian version of Meet the Press. The delegation answered varied questions from newspaper reporters, ranging from what taxes do we pay to what are the cultural offerings in Gainesville. There was also talk of an exchange of an American journalist for a Soviet journalist. Look into the faces of children, no matter what country, and you see the future. Dressed in their best to meet the Americans, the young Soviets were as curious as we were about each other. Child care is very important to the Soviet people and is evident in the care that is shown at this kindergarten. The kids in their native costumes, of course, stole our hearts. Sisters and brothers do not always get along. Sometimes there's competition or jealousy. But above any petty difference, siblings usually realize just how like they are and the deep love and respect they hold for one another. Sister cities often behave this way. We fear while we don't know or believe rumors of how things are. But once you shake the hand or kiss the cheek of a Soviet sister or brother, you forget any differences we have. We all share this planet and must learn more about each other so we can live together.